we're going to start applying some of these ideas of copyright to the practice of video professionals. Video professionals are people who do video production for a living, not amateurs who upload stuff to the web just for fun, but people who are trying to make a career out of video or film or animation production. If you're a professional, you can't use other people's work and call it your own. That would be a violation of the law, of copyright law, but it would also be unprofessional to take someone else's work and try to claim that it's yours. That's plagiarism, and no artist would accept that as a way to make a living. That includes music, so you can't take music that doesn't belong to you and use it unless you've followed the law. And there's going to be a whole bunch of tutorials following this one that'll explain specifically how we can apply that law when we are making movies. But basically, you just have to be super careful when you're taking anything from the web. You're going to need to assume that it's copyrighted and that you can't use it unless you follow specific kinds of rules like fair use, which I'm going to cover a little bit more detail in a little bit. One exception is stock media. Video professionals often buy stock media, that's production music and sound effects sometimes, or even footage that is pre-created by professionals usually, and then sold so that you can use it in your own projects. Ask your teacher if you have any stock music that your school licenses for you to use. Might include standard video clips. Often stock media comes with specific licensing saying how professionals can use that. You'll have to read the actual licensing to find out what that is. It includes photos and music. All right, when you're looking at a piece of work, a piece of media, some music or some video or an animation or a photo or illustration, anything you want to use, by default, you must assume that everything is copyrighted. If it exists, then it's copyrighted, which means you can't use it unless you follow the law. If you're looking at a web page, read the fine print. Somewhere on that web page there's copyright information, and that determines how that web page can be used. If there's no copyright information, you still have to determine that all the content you're looking at is copyrighted. And keep in mind that there's a lot of websites out there that break copyright law. It might seem like, oh, this great website's got this music, and they just let you download it for free. That doesn't mean that they're following the law, and you as a video professional are obliged to follow the law. The web designers for that website, they're a separate issue, and so we really can't let their use dictate our use. We have to follow the law. If you are trying to find the owner of a particular piece of media so that you can use it, let's say it's a song that you really want to use in your project, and you're willing to do some research, you got to find the original source. You might think it came from this one website, but often sites post and repost and share this stuff, and it's hard to track down where it originally came from. But if you can track it down, then you're closer to finding the original source and then getting permission from that source to use it in your projects. As a professional, you can't risk using that copyrighted media without permission from the original owner. Without that permission, you can't use it except in fair use. And fair use we'll be talking about in a few minutes.